Greetings, mighty companions. Anna Kujawa here, and we are doing a course in miracles like we always do on Mondays. But on Mondays, what we do is something we call Miracle Roulette, where we allow Spirit to decide for us through the random number generator what we hear from A Course in Miracles. So we are going to do an opening meditation where we ask the Spirit to decide for us what we hear from A Course in Miracles, according to what we need, according to what Spirit knows that we need. And then we'll do the random number generator. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take about 5 minutes or so to do an opening meditation prayer. And then we'll do the random number generator. And then we'll see where we are led to in the body of A Course in Miracles. So, welcome everybody. Welcome Daniel and Carrie. Lovely to see you both. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and take a breath and get into that space of communion, that space of connection with Spirit, the divine Spirit that lives within you, that lives within all of us, that is connected. Let us access this Spirit, this divine voice, this divine Spirit that lives within all of us. So go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already, and let's make contact. Go within. Bring your mind out to the past and out to the future, and allow your mind to rest within in the holy instant, the precious and perfect and powerful present moment now. And breathe. And let us, as the Course in Miracles says, come with holy empty hands unto our God. Let us come into the presence of love, holding on to nothing, holding on to no thoughts, no plans, no scripts, no grievances. Let us come into the presence of holiness itself, which abides within us, with no thoughts, no plans, no scripts, no agendas, no thoughts of our own. Let us come with holy, empty hands unto our God, saying, I want only your thoughts. I want only your plan. Thy will be done. Let all my thoughts be still. Let all my thoughts be still. And breathe. And imagine your hands being open, not clinging to anything. Come with holy, empty hands unto your God. No plans, no scripts. Let all thoughts but God's be still in my mind. A truly open mind. Truly open mind. Open mind. Empty hands. Let all thoughts but loves be still in me. And breathe. The more open our minds can be, the more of Spirit's thoughts that can come. The more open our hands can be, the more open our minds can be, the more our minds and our hearts and our hands hands can be filled by Spirit. Let us come with wholly empty hands and wholly open minds unto the divine Spirit that resides within. Saying to Spirit, Thy will be done. Decide for me what I most need to hear right now, that I might have the happiness and the peace that my Creator wills for me. And breathe. The Course in Miracles tells us that our Creator, our Source, has a plan for our happiness and our fulfillment that cannot fail. And the Course in Miracles tells us that we can receive that plan. We can accept that plan if we do not cling to our own plan for happiness that we made up, not knowing our own best interests, not having full love for ourselves. And so let us in this holy instant say, only God's plan for our happiness will work. I have no other plan for my happiness will work, and I want no other plan for my happiness but God's. And God, I ask for your plan for my happiness. I do not know what your plan for my happiness is, but that is all I want. And I won't substitute my plan for happiness in place of yours. Thy will be done. Be you in charge. I want only your plan for my happiness. And let's ask our loving Creator, what is your loving plan for me right now? What is your will for me? Your loving, abundant will for me? What is your will for me? What is your plan for my happiness? What is your plan for my happiness? I do not know, but I ask. What is your plan for my happiness? Thy will be done. And breathe. And here we are asking that Spirit decide for us what we would read from A Course in Miracles today, according to love's plan for our happiness, that we can accept if we won't cherish any of our plans instead. Spirit, decide for love, for me. Decide for God's plan for my happiness right now. Be you in charge. Decide for us what we hear from A Course in Miracles today. And thank you in advance for your plan for our happiness that cannot fail. Thank you. Amen. All right. So we've done the prayer. All right. Lovely to see you all. Zagam and Jerry, lovely to see you all. Again, we are in A Course in Miracles, and on Mondays we do random number generator. We do miracle roulette, where we ask Spirit to decide for us what we would hear from this healing curriculum, trusting that love has a plan for our happiness that cannot fail, knowing that we do not know what that is, knowing we don't know our own best interest because we do not have total love for ourselves, but there is something within us that does, whose love and wisdom is dependable. And on Mondays we come to that divine spark within us, trusting its love for us, trusting its wisdom, trusting its knowledge of the whole plan. And we ask it, please decide for us what we study from A Course in Miracles. And so that's what we're doing. So, all right, so we've just done our Miracle Roulette prayer, and I've pulled up the 3 books of the Course, and now we're going to find out which book of the Course we are in. I've got my random number generator out, and it is the workbook. All right, so in the workbook, I know that there are 365 daily lessons. So we're putting in 365 into the workbook, and let's see what workbook lesson we've got, and it is 195. All right, so now we go to the workbook and we find out what is lesson 195. And Greg, if you see it first, will you let me know so I can put it in my search thing here? Lesson 195. Dun, da, da, lesson 195 in the workbook. And it is?
Love is the way I walk.
Ah, wonderful. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Wow. All right, one of my favorite workbook lessons. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Okay, everybody, see where we're at? So, we did the random number generator. I put in the 3 books of the Course in Miracles, and what it brought up was in the workbook, and love is the way I walk in gratitude. So that is what we're going to do. For some reason, it's taking a long time to find it, so I'm going to go to, here we go. Let's see here. Okay, workbook, and let's see here. All right. Okay, you guys got it? Love is the way I walk in gratitude. All right. Okay, so I think what we're going to be hearing about today is about the true nature of love. The true nature of love. So, right, of course I can't pick it up because we don't have that. So, let's do this. Love is the way I walk. Search. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys, it's taking a little bit long. Hi, Irene. Lovely to see you. Hi, Carol. Hi, Andrew. Lovely to see you all. And that's not picking it up either. Ego defense. Let's go to the workbook. Let's go to the workbook. All right, guys. So we are in the workbook. All right. And ego is defending. I cannot find it. Here we go. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Okay, Greg, do you see it in your book? Okay, why don't you give me the first line so that I can see.
Gratitude is a lesson hard to learn.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So we are in the workbook, and the workbook lesson 195, and love is the way I walk in gratitude. So we're about to hear about some love. It says gratitude is a lesson that is hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. So if you're not looking upon the world correctly, then gratitude is a lesson hard to learn. So gratitude is a lesson. Gratitude is a lesson. Gratitude is a lesson. Gratitude is a lesson that is hard to learn if you are looking on the world amiss. Those who are looking upon the world amiss, the most they can do is see themselves as better off than others. So if you're not looking at the world correctly, the best you can do is see yourself as better off than others. And those who are looking upon the world amiss, they try to be content because someone else seems to suffer more than they. But that is pitiful and deprecating, to look upon the world and see others as what? As seeing yourself as better off than others and trying to be content that you have more than others. That is a pitiful and deprecating way to look upon the world. It says, because who has cause for thanks while others have less cause for thanks? And who could suffer less because they see another suffer more? So having gratitude because someone else is suffering less than you, and having cause for thanks while others have less cause. Who could suffer less because they see another suffer more? That's not real gratitude. That kind of gratitude is pitiful and deprecating. I'm so grateful that I have more than others that have less. That's not real gratitude. It says your gratitude is due to God alone, who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. All right. So if your gratitude is anything but I am so grateful to the source of love who made everybody's suffering disappear throughout the world. I am so grateful to God alone who made all cause of suffering disappear throughout the world. That is the only real gratitude. So unless your gratitude is I am so grateful to the one love that made all cause of suffering disappear throughout the world, then your gratitude isn't real. It's deprecating, and what was the other word that it used? Depreciating. All right. So that's the only real gratitude that there is. I'm so grateful to the love, to the source who made all causes of suffering disappear throughout the entire world. So there's one cause, one love that makes all cause of suffering disappear throughout the entire world, and that is what we are grateful for. No longer are we giving thanks because somebody else is suffering less than us or more than us. It is insane to offer thanks because of suffering. Wow, when we say, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful I'm not suffering like that person who's homeless on the street right now. I'm so grateful I have more than them. He says, that is offering thanks because of suffering. Because someone else is suffering less than you, where you're going to offer thanks. It says it is insane to offer thanks because of suffering. But it is equally insane to fail in gratitude to one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed, whereby all suffering is replaced with laughter and with happiness. All right. So it's insane to offer gratitude because of suffering. It's insane to go, well, I'm so grateful I'm not suffering as much as that person over there. That's not real gratitude, and that's insane. It's also insane to fail to offer gratitude, to fail in gratitude to the one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed, whereby all of your suffering is replaced with laughter and happiness. All right. So, I think that the author is calling us insane here. And so our teacher here is saying that if you're not offering gratitude right now, if for whatever reason you're not offering gratitude right now to the one, to love, to God, who has offered you the certain means whereby all your pain is healed, whereby all your suffering is replaced with laughter and happiness, then you are insane. Okay? That means that right now, God, love, source, is offering you the certain means whereby all of your pain is healed. There is one who is offering you right now the certain means whereby all your suffering is replaced with laughter and with happiness. And that's happening right now. That is happening right now. And to fail in gratitude, to fail to be grateful to the one who is offering you that right now, is to be insane, is to not recognize what's really going on, what's really happening. And so here we are being reminded in A Course in Miracles in this workbook lesson 195, we're being reminded that, hey, just in case you don't know, you are being offered the certain means whereby all your pain is healed and all your suffering is replaced with laughter and with happiness. That's what's going on right now that maybe you did not realize. And if you don't realize what's going on, if you don't realize what's happening right now, then that's the definition of insanity. That's the definition of being insane. I don't know what's going on right now. So A Course in Miracles is saying you're not recognizing what is going on right now. And you are seeing something that isn't happening right now. All right? So we're hearing about gratitude and the healing power of real gratitude. So it's saying the real thing we want to be offering gratitude for is not that we have more than some people right now, but that our source has offered all of us the certain means whereby all of our pain is healed and all of our suffering is replaced with laughter and with happiness. That's what's really going on. Now, if that's what's really going on, then in any moment we can ask for help to perceive that and to receive that, and we can experience that. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and just say, all right, okay, I'm being offered the certain means whereby all my pain is healed and all my suffering is replaced with laughter and with happiness. Okay, great. Then I ask for that, and I say thank you for that. Even if I don't believe it, even if I don't perceive it, I am going to offer gratitude for that. So let's go ahead and do that. I offer gratitude to the one who has given me the certain means whereby all my pain is healed and all of my suffering replaced with happiness and with laughter. Beautiful. Demi says, so this is a gentle nudge into a deeper gratitude replaced by laughter, happiness, and peace versus insanity, unawakened. Exactly. Beautiful. Irene says, and replaced with happiness. If you don't know what's going on right now, that's the definition of insanity. Exactly. That's great. Good catch. Insanity means I don't really know what's going on right now, and I have made it up what's going on right now. And what this lesson is telling us is that the only thing that's justified right now is gratitude. You may think that what's justified right now is anger and resentment and grievances and defense. Defend myself. I got to defend myself. I got to defend myself. You may think that is what is justified right now. But of course, in Miracles, in this lesson 195, is telling us, you know what? What's really justified is gratitude. If you knew what was really going on, if you knew what was really going on and being offered you for real, you could only be grateful. If you really knew what was going on. And if you don't feel grateful right now, that means you don't know what's really going on. Beautiful. Okay, so it says, nor could the even partly sane refuse to take the steps which love directs and follow in the way love sets before you, to escape a prison which you thought contained no door to deliverance that you now perceive. Beautiful. It's saying that if you knew what was going on, then you would see that what was set before you was an escape from the prison that you thought contained no door to the deliverance that you now perceive. If you really saw what was going on, you would know that right before you, there's a door by which you can escape from the prison that you thought contained no door. That is what you would see if you really saw what was going on. That's what A Course in Miracles is saying all through the curriculum, that correct perception leads to joy. If you really had correct perception, then you would experience only love and joy and peace. And that when you are suffering in any way, shape, or form, it's because you don't see the truth. Reality produces only joy. The awareness of truth and reality produces only joy. And when you are suffering, it's not because you're seeing reality, the cold, hard reality. When you are suffering, it means you do not see the truth. Reality is joy. Reality is abundance. What's real is love. What's real produces only love and safety and abundance. And if you're not experiencing that, it's because you're not perceiving reality. So A Course in Miracles is helping us to wake back up to the reality that was created by our Source, that we have been asleep to. And when you forget reality and you go to sleep in reality, then you can only weep, you can only suffer. The Course in Miracles says that pain is proof of self-deception. Joy is awakening. Joy is awareness of reality. Now, when you're perceiving reality, you can only rejoice, you can only be grateful. And if you're not experiencing gratitude, you're really not perceiving what's really there. If you're not experiencing gratitude, you're not seeing the open door to your escape. That's right there. It's always been there, open and waiting in warm welcome for you. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So we are in lesson 195. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. And now we're in paragraph 3. It says, your brothers and your sisters, those people in your life, they are your, quote, enemy, only because you see in them the rival for your peace. Those others in your life, they seem to be your enemy because they seem to be a plunderer who takes their joy from you and leaves you nothing but a black despair so bitter and relentless that there's no hope remaining. And now is vengeance all there is to wish for. And now can you only try to bring them down to lie down in the death with you, as useless as yourself, as little left within your grasping fingers as in theirs. All right, wow. So this explains why you're really upset with the people in your life. Of course, Miracle says that you're upset and angry, hurt, sad with the people in your life because you see in the people you're upset with a plunderer, someone who is out to take your peace, the rival for your peace, the plunderer of your peace who's there to take your joy from you. Wow, leaving you nothing but a black despair. That's what you're really upset about. You're not upset because they said something that you didn't like. You're not upset because they took that parking spot from you. The reason that you are having a grievance with another, the reason you are not feeling grateful for them is because you see in them the rival for your peace. They are the rival of my peace. They are here to take my peace from me, leaving me nothing but bitterness and despair. Wow, we see other people as the rival of our peace. I would be peaceful if they hadn't taken my peace and stolen it from me. I would be only peaceful. He says that's what we see in other people, the plunderer of our peace, the competitor, the person who has the ability to steal our peace from us and leave us only a bitter despair. He says that's why we see other people as our enemy instead of being grateful to them as our saviors, teachers, and healers. So that's what we're really upset with people about. And now that we see them as the plunderer of our peace, now is vengeance all there is to wish for. Now all we want to do is bring them down to the level that we are on, to lie in fear with us as useless as ourselves, as little left within our grasping fingers as in theirs. That's why we are not in grateful, holy relationships with all those around us. Those are our two options. Either you're grateful for the one that love has sent you, or you see in them the rival for your peace, and now you're in competition with them. Those are your two options. You either see them as you either feel grateful for them, or you see them as your enemy. Those are our two options as to how to see other people. Either you're grateful for them as a gift from God, or you see the rival for your peace, the plunder of your peace that you've got to compete with in order to have a tiny bit of happiness. All right. Okay, beautiful. Yes, I love it. Irene says those all others in your life seem to be the enemy, but they are only those you think will blah blah. Okay. All right. Now we're on paragraph 4. So we're talking about how you see other people. They're either the rivals for your peace, or they are sources of gratitude for you. Daniel says, I've been seeing Donald Trump as my plunderer when I really should be grateful for him. Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel, for saying that. Truly, when you are seeing correctly, you are giving gratitude that everyone has received the same amount of love and power and blessings as everyone else. Now let's go back. It says the real source of gratitude is what? Right. It says your gratitude is due to God alone, who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. That's the only real cause of gratitude, to God, to love, who made all cause of suffering disappear throughout the world. All right. So, now, and if we're perceiving correctly, that is all that we will experience. Correct perception equals I am so grateful to the one who made all cause of suffering disappear for everybody around the world. That's what I'm grateful for. I'm not. It says it's pitiful and deprecating to give thanks that maybe you have more than those who have less. That's not real gratitude at all. That's implying that the loving source, God, gave a little more to you and a lot less to them, as if our source, our loving source, God, plays favorites like that, which would have to mean God was unloving and insane. And of course, in Miracles is saying that the truth about God is not that God plays favorites and gives a little more to these and a little less to those. The truth about God is that God gives the same power, the same love, the same eternal life to everyone equally. God gives the same to all of God's creations. So whatever God has given to you, God has given to those all over the world. And whatever God has given to them all over the world, God has given to you. And that God creates in fairness. God gives in equality. God gives equality. God gives equally to all of God's creations. That's the one thing to give gratitude to. So, so we're saying you don't want to give thanks because you have more and they have less. Okay? That's not real gratitude. That's really affirming that God isn't real love and that God doesn't love all of God's children equally. But if God doesn't love all of God's creations equally, then God isn't love. Wow. The Course in Miracles says, love is as the source of love created love. There is no love but God's, which means unless you're loving like God, who knows no specialness, who knows no separate parts or differences, then you're not really loving. Real love gives all love to everyone equally. All right, and that's what we're giving thanks for. I'm giving thanks that our loving source loves all of its creations equally. And God has given to all of them in Africa, in the Middle East, in Europe, in the United States, that love, God has given the same love and power and abundance to all of its creations. And I'm so grateful for that. All right, that's the thing that we're giving great gratitude for. Beautiful. Thank you, God, that you love every one of your creations, all of your creations, male, female, black, white, red, brown, all of them, rich, poor, all around the earth, no matter what, no exceptions, no conditions. You love all of your creations equally, and you give all of your love to all of your creations all around the world, all around the universe equally, all the time, no exceptions, no conditions. I'm so grateful for that. And that's what I want to remember when I see somebody who seems to have less than me. And that's what I want to remember when I see somebody who seems to have more than me. That's what I want to be grateful for. All right, because that is the truth about our loving source, creator, love, God, whatever you want to call loving source. That's real love. So let's give thanks for the real love that we are all loved by. I am loved by that source. You are loved by that source. they are loved by that source, and we're all loved the same, and we're all given the same. Thank you, God. Hallelujah. All right. So, beautiful. Andrew says, let me will to learn to love as God loves. Amen to that. Absolutely. Yeah, the Course in Miracles says there is no love but God's. God is the source of love. There is no love but God. So if you don't love like that, you ain't really loving. You're doing something else. The Course calls that fear. If you're quote loving, but your love is conditional, it's for them but not them, but you but not them, or for them but not you. If your love is conditional in any way, shape, or form, then your love isn't real. Only it says there is no love but God's. What the love that is conditional, and the love that makes exceptions, and the love that is for them but not for them, that's not really love. That's fear. So we thank God. We give gratitude that there is no love but God's, and that is a love that encompasses everybody. And that's what I love to remember. That's very helpful to me when I am seeing people who seem to have less than me. And my temptation is to feel bad for them, to feel guilty for what I have. Oh, here's a few dollars. My temptation when I see people who have less than me is to feel bad. My temptation is to give thanks. Well, thank God I've got a roof over my head and some money in my blah, blah, blah. Or to feel guilty, or to give thanks for what I have and they don't. And then also there's a temptation when I perceive people who seem to have more than me to have a perception of ingratitude and like, how come they have more than me? Okay, so those are our temptations that really are lessons in lack, and they are a lack of love. Says that lack is a lesson in ingratitude. So when you're being ungrateful to God for what God has given to them, and you're being ungrateful to God about what God has given to you relative to them, then really what you're doing for yourself is you're making lack. Now, lack isn't real in the universe. Lack isn't real. God did not create lack of anything, and so lack isn't real. But when you are doing the comparison, thanking God that you have more than them, or being upset because they have more than you, not seeing equality of the abundance of the love of God, what you are trying to teach yourself is that there's not enough to go around. What you're trying to teach yourself is that loving source, gives unequally to its creations, and that is a misperception, and that is a lesson in lack, which isn't real. So, all right, so we're learning about love and God and abundance and lack. All right, so now we're in paragraph 4. You do not offer God your gratitude because others are more slave than you, nor could you sanely be enraged if others seem freer than you. And the reason is because love doesn't make any comparisons, which means your gratitude can only be sincere if your gratitude is joined to love. And so here's how we're going to join our gratitude to love. We're going to offer thanks to God, our Creator, that in us all things will find their freedom. It will never be that some people are loosed while some people are bound. It will never be that some people are free and some people are enslaved. It will never be that way. It will never be that some people have none while some people have more. It will never be that way. Because who can bargain in the name of love? All right. So that's what we were saying. The truth about love, real love, is that real love, the source of love, God, has given everything to everyone. It will never be that some people have less while some people have more. It will never be that way. That's not reality. We've learned falsely that some people have less and some people have more. Apparently God gives to some more and God gives to some less. But that is not reality. That is not the way God creates at all. And so the real thing that we're being asked to give gratitude for is that God has given everything to everyone all the time, forever, and no exceptions. And thank you, God, for that. Now I don't need to feel guilty. Now I don't need to feel competitive. Now I don't need to feel jealous. I don't need to feel guilty for those who seem to have less. And I don't need to feel angry or competitive for those who seem to have more. Because that perception is a false perception that I learned from my past. And so that's what it's saying, you can't bargain in the name of love. How about you give me a little less or a little more, God? Let's make a deal. Let's make a bargain. So you can't bargain with God. You can't bargain with real love. Love gives everything that love is and love has to everyone and everything that love has created. So everyone has everything that our loving source has given it. And that's the truth of the matter, which means they can never go without and you can never be without. You all have the same. We all have the same. The person in the palace on the hill, the person who seems to be homeless on the street, we all have the same. We all have exactly the same that our loving source has given us. And that's the only thing we're going to give thanks for. Not that I have more than them and they have less, or that be enraged that they have more than I have. Okay? So we're learning the true nature of love. We're learning the true nature of our source. And we're learning the true nature of abundance. All right. Beautiful. Irene says, we've learned falsely that some have more or less, that God has given everything to everyone. Now I don't need to feel jealous or competitive or enraged. I love it. Yes. I haven't been left out. And they haven't been left out. And they haven't been left out. No one has been left out. No one has received anything from God that everyone else hasn't received. That's the truth. That's the true nature of reality. Beautiful. That's all we're giving great gratitude for. Okay? So I love it. So this is setting up where you're not going to feel guilty if it appears others have less, but it's also setting it up where you're not going to have jealousy and rage that others seem to have more than you. That's impossible. It's impossible that anyone else has less than you, and it's impossible that anyone else has more than you. We are truly, truly equal in the love of our source. In the eyes of our source, in the love of our source, we are truly, truly equal. We've all been given everything, period. That's why A Course in Miracles says to say periodically, God has given me everything. And it says, when you have said, God has given me everything, love has given me everything, when you say that, what you're saying is, the ego doesn't exist. Dang, God has given me everything. God has given me everything. What you're saying is the ego doesn't exist, which is the truth. Wow, amazing. Now, if I am on the street begging, I sure as hell wish and hope that somebody looking at me says, God has given her everything, just like God has given me everything. Here's $20. You know, that's what I want to receive when I am believing and perceiving that God has given me less than another. And I sure hope that I also perceive that when I seems to have more than others. God has given me everything. God has given them everything. Thank you, God, for that kind of love. Thank God for the kind of love that is so big and so powerful and so abundant and so rich and so eternal that everyone created by love has everything forever. That's the truth. That's the only truth. Now, to remember that in the perception of some kind of inequality, that is miraculous thinking. That's miracle-minded thinking, which produces miracles of abundance for everybody. And that's what I love. You know, tell me how to have the perception that is so miracle-minded that everybody benefits from that perception. All right. So, it says this in paragraph 5. It says, therefore, give thanks, but in sincerity. It says, what does that mean? That means let your gratitude make room for everyone who will escape with you. And who is it? Who is the everyone that will escape with you when you're having gratitude for real love? Make room for everyone who will escape with you when you have correct perception. And who is this everyone who will escape with you when you have correct perception? The sick, the weak, the needy, and the afraid. And those who mourn a seeming loss. And those who feel apparent pain. And those who suffer cold. And those who suffer hunger. And those who walk the way of hatred, and those who walk the path of death. All these folks go with you. All these folks will be benefited, healed with you. These are the folks that will escape with you. So when you remember the truth about the nature of love, the abundant reality of the love that we all share, that we all come from, when you remember that, all these folks, the sick, the needy, the afraid, the mourners, the weak, and those who suffer cold, those who suffer hunger, those who walk the way of hatred, and those who walk the path of death, all of them will escape with you when you remember the truth about the loving, unconditional nature of the love that is our source. So, when you see somebody suffering cold or hunger, or somebody who's mourning, you can give them $1, you can give them some food, but the ultimate way to bring them to, the ultimate way to enable them to escape all that with you is to remember the truth for them, to give thanks for the love that it has not forgotten any one of them, that provides for every one of them, the love that enables them to escape the pain, the hunger, the cold, the sickness, the mourning, the death. That's the best you can do to offer them. You're actually offering them escape from the hunger, the cold, the sickness, the death. You offer them escape. You enable them to escape from all that with you when you give thanks to the love that loves them equally to you, equally to all, and has provided for them equal to you, equal to all. That is what enables you to offer them escape with you. Escape from what? Loss, pain, cold, hunger, and the path of death. Wow. So let's let this be what we remember to do in the presence of those who seem to have less than us, and also those who seem to have more than us. Okay, you're going to be seeing both. Okay, so when we perceive those who are cold and hungry and mourning, let's remember this, as well as when we see people who seem to be in their mansion on a hill. Let's remember that for both. It says, all these folks go with you. They all go with you. Those who seem to have less than you, and those who seem to have more than you, they all go with you. So don't compare yourself with them. Because if you compare yourself with them, then you're going to split yourself off from them. And you're not going to be aware of the unity that you share with them and they share with you. So don't do comparison. So instead of going, well, I sure am glad I'm not them, or gosh, why am I not them? Why don't I have what they have? God must love them more than me. Oh, God must love me more than them. So don't do the comparison like that at all. It says, don't compare yourself with them because you're splitting them off from you. And which means you won't be aware of the unity you have with those who seem to have more than you. Nor will you be aware of the unity you have with those who seem to have less with you, meaning you will not have correct perception. You will not be perceiving the truth. So don't compare yourself with them. So, very useful, okay? Because you're going to be seeing people who seem to have less than you, and you're going to be seeing people who have more than you. That's just what you're going to be seeing. And if you compare yourself with these folks, then you are not going to be aware of the reality of the unity that we share with everyone. That's reality. That's the truth. Unless you're perceiving the unity that we all share as children of God, then you will not be perceiving correctly. You will not be giving gratitude for the one love that provides for everyone, no exception, and you will be experiencing lack. And you'll be experiencing fear. So, let us not compare ourselves with them. All right. It's a great instruction about what to do when we perceive other people who seem to have less and people who seem to have more than us. And what we're hearing is that we're supposed to be offering gratitude to Source, about how Source has provided for all of us, no exceptions, no conditions. Thank you, God, that person sleeping on the street tonight has as much as I do, and thank God that I have as much as the person who seems to be on that big old mansion on the hill. Thank God we all have the same. And all we need do is but remember our loving Source, to experience the loving abundance that our Source gives to all of its creations. And all I need to do is remember, I'm not separate from those who are sleeping on the street, and I'm also not separate from those who seem to be rich and famous and seem to have all the money in the world. I'm not separate from either one of those. We're all the same. We're all unified in the one love of our one Source. And we are all entitled to all of the abundance that is the love of our Source, that is the love we came from. We are all entitled to that. We are all made of deserve that equally. We're all united in that abundant love, and that is the only truth. And I give thanks for that in this holy instant right now. All right. So now we are in paragraph 6. All right, let's take a breath and breathe. Hi, Julie. Love to see you. Thank you, Irene, for your comments. Lovely. All right. So, this is such a wonderful section in healing our perceptions of lack. Okay? Our perceptions of lack come not because lack is real in the universe. There is no lack in the universe. There's an overabundance in the universe. The only reason that we are experiencing lack is because we're seeing inequality. We're seeing that some deserve more than others, some are loved more than others. We're perceiving inequality. And it says that inequality is a lesson in lack. So if I'm not seeing myself as equal to them, and I'm not seeing myself as equal to them, what I'm teaching myself is lack. So if I really want to heal this perception of lack that I see in my world, then that's going to come from learning the truth that there is only equality of worth, only equality of value. There is only equality of love from source to all of love's creations. That is the truth that produces an awareness of, oh, they have it all, I have it all, they have it all, oh, we all have it all. And the only thing that determines why some people seem to receive more is because some people are, some people know the truth that we're all equally worthy, and some people don't. Okay? And for me, some days I do and some days I don't. That's why it seems that some days I have more and some days I have less. It's not because some days I have more and some days I have less. No, I have the same that my Creator is giving me every single day, just like everybody else. But some days I am perceiving inequality. Some days I'm perceiving differences. Differences of worth, differences of value, differences of form. And on those days when I'm choosing to see differences of value, differences of worth, what I'm choosing to do is I'm choosing to see a lack. But that's where the perception of lack is really coming from. Not from God, not from the universe, but from me not choosing to see equality of love, equality of value, equality of worth. All right. Great. Let's all take a breath. Take a breath. And now we're going to go to paragraph 6. It says, we thank our Creator for one thing alone. What's the one thing we're going to thank God for? That we are separate from no living thing, and we are therefore one with Source. It's the one thing we give thanks for. I'm not separate from any living thing, and we are not separate from our Source. Thank you, God. That's the one thing we thank God for. That we are not separate from any living thing. Plant, animal, person, whatever. We are not separate from any living thing, which means we're not separate from our Source. And so the one thing we give thanks for. So we're not giving thanks that we have more than another, and we're not giving resentment that someone seems to have more than us. We're just giving thanks that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore we are one with God. And we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair or change our function to complete the one who is himself completion. Beautiful. So we're just giving thanks for every living thing. We're giving thanks for every living thing, and we're giving thanks also that we are complete. We're giving thanks that no exceptions can ever be made which would reduce our wholeness or change our function. Wow. So nothing can happen which would reduce our wholeness. Nothing can happen that can reduce our worthiness, our entitlement to love, our entitlement to miracles. Nothing can happen that could reduce our completion, our wholeness, our worthiness for love. Nothing can happen. Nothing can happen that can reduce their worthiness for love and miracles and abundance. Nothing can reduce their completion. It can't happen. No exception to that. So it says, so really we're just giving thanks for every living thing. I give thanks for every living thing and the love that has given every living thing all the love that it is. That's what we're giving thanks for. It says, and unless we're giving thanks for every living thing, we offer thanks for nothing. And unless we're giving thanks for every living thing, what every living thing is entitled to, we're failing to recognize the gifts of God to us. Unless we recognize that God has given all of God's love to all of God's creations, no exceptions, no conditions, no exclusions. Unless we are recognizing that, then we are failing to recognize what love is offering to us. So if I'm seeing one exception or one exclusion in this person deserving all the love and abundance from love, if I'm seeing one exception, one exclusion, one condition to that rule, then I will fail to recognize what my Creator is giving to me. And that's what lack means. If you're perceiving, well, I'm having enough of this, and I'm having enough of that, I'm having enough of this, I'm having enough of that. If you're having a perception of you don't have enough of something, it is not because there ain't enough of something for you, or that God gave it to someone else and not you. The only reason you're seeing a lack of anything is because you weren't seeing everyone as deserving all the love equally forever. You were like, well, you don't deserve that, and you don't deserve that, and because you don't deserve that, and because you did that, well, you don't deserve that. And then now that you've looked out and judged that someone that God created doesn't deserve all the love and all the abundance for some reason, now you're going to look within, and you will see that you will perceive that you don't deserve all the love, all the abundance, all the support. So if you are experiencing any kind of lack in your life, it is only because you looked without and saw a child of God, a creation of God, as not deserving all the love and all the abundance because of a reason you made up. And if you want to remove the blocks to the abundance in your own life, then notice where you have made exceptions, where you've decided that other people don't deserve the whole love, whole forgiveness, whole abundance of God, and go and look where you've done that, where you've made the exception, where you've put the conditions on love for another, and then ask for correct perception in that area, because that's the only thing that's blocking your abundance that you are entitled to as a creation of love, a child of God. As a child of God, a creation of love, you've been given everything. All the love, all the power, all the eternal life, all of it. No exceptions, no conditions, forever. So the only way you could not know about it is you must have wanted someone else to not have it. That's the only way that it could be that you don't perceive what all the universe has given to you and to everyone. So Okay, great. Then instead of deciding who deserves it and who does not, according to my past judgments, instead of that, let your brothers and sisters lean their tired heads against your shoulders so that they can rest a while. Wow. So instead of judging others, what they deserve and what's going on, just let them rest their tired heads against your shoulders as they rest a while. Those are your two options. You can either judge what they deserve according to your past, or you can let them rest their tired heads on your shoulders. Those are your two options. And while they rest their tired head on your shoulder, give thanks for them. Give thanks for them. While they're resting their tired head on your shoulder, give thanks for them. Why? Why should we give thanks to them who are resting their tired heads against our shoulders? We give thanks for them because if we can direct them to the peace and the abundance that we want to find from our source, then the way is opening at last to us. That's why we're going to give thanks to them, those who are resting their tired heads upon our shoulders. I give thanks. Instead of going like, what do they want? Instead of that, I'm going to give thanks for this person who is tired and weary and resting their head on my shoulder. I'm going to give thanks for them because only as I remember for them the abundance they are entitled to, only will I remember it for myself. Only as I show the way to them, their worthiness and their abundance, only will the way be open to me at last. The truth is that an ancient door is swinging free again. The truth is that a long forgotten word is re-echoing in our memory. And that long forgotten word is gathering clarity in our memory as we are willing once again to hear. That's what's really going on. God's word, a long forgotten word, is re-echoing in our memory. An ancient door is swinging free again. That's really what's going on. Now, then in paragraph 8 it says, so, instructions. Walk then in gratitude the way of love. Walk then in gratitude the way of love. How do you walk the path of love? How do you walk the way to God? How do you walk the way to your own abundance, eternal life? How do you walk the way of abundance and love in your own life? You walk the way of gratitude. You want to go back to heaven, back to the Garden of Eden, back onto the ark. The way you do that, you can't get back to God and the abundance of God walking any path but gratitude. You can't get back to God, you can't get back to heaven, you can't get back to the Garden of Eden, you can't get back to peace while you're walking the way of like, well, I deserve it, but they don't. Or they deserve it, but I don't. The only way, the only path to walk back to heaven is gratitude. And not gratitude that you have more than them, but gratitude that our Creator has given everything to everybody. Thank you, God. That's the only way to get back home, to get back to heaven, to get back onto the ark, to get back into the Garden of Eden. So, paragraph 8, walk then in gratitude the way of love. Because when you're walking this way, hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. Hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. When we remember that God has given everything to everybody equally forever, then hatred is laid aside. Hatred is forgotten when comparisons are laid aside. That's true. What's my hate about? Well, they have more than me. And why do they have more than me? They don't deserve more than me. I'm, of course, a miracle student. How come they have more than me? And hatred is also laid aside when I'm comparing myself to those who seem to have, I sure am glad I have more than them than they have. I sure am glad God gave me more than them. Okay, both of those perceptions lead to hatred. But it says that hatred is laid aside when comparisons are laid aside. Correct perception of the nature, the abundant nature of reality is remembered when comparisons are laid aside. And what more remain as obstacles to peace? The fear of God is now undone at last, which means we forgive without comparing. Wow, what does it mean to forgive without comparing? What does that mean? It means we cannot choose to overlook some things and yet retain some things and other things still locked away as sins. In other words, when your forgiveness is complete, you will have total gratitude because you will see that everything has earned the right to love by being loving even as yourself. Now that is correct perception. It says that correct perception is when your forgiveness rests on everything. When your forgiveness is complete, then you will have total gratitude. When your forgiveness is complete and your gratitude is total, here's what you will see. You'll see that everyone and everything has earned the right to love by being loving as yourself. That's what you're going to see. That's correct perception. That is perception that has been healed by forgiveness. Correct perception is when you look out and go, they have a right to love. They've earned the right to love. I've earned the right to love. They've earned the right to love. They've earned the right to love. And I've earned the right to love. And everyone has earned the right to love, just like me. We all deserve love. We all deserve love, no matter what mistakes we've made. They deserve love, whatever mistakes they made. I deserve love, whatever mistakes I've made. They deserve love, whatever mistakes they've made. That is correct perception, and that is forgiveness. So today we're going to learn to think of gratitude in place of anger. We're going to learn to think of gratitude in place of malice. We're going to learn to think of gratitude in place of revenge. And how are we going to do that? Come on, how are you going to do that? Instead of revenge and malice and anger, what do you mean I'm going to think of gratitude? Yeah, instead of being angry and malice and feelings of thoughts of revenge, instead of that, we're going to learn to think of gratitude. How do you do that? Okay, how to do it? Okay, I'm really tempted by revenge and malice right now. And anger, I'm really tempted by anger, malice, and revenge. But of course, Miracle says I'm going to learn to have a different perception. What is that? We're going to learn to perceive that, to be grateful that we've been given everything. Yeah, I'm tempted to be great and angry and full of malice and revenge today. How dare you do that? You stole my peace, you stole my happiness, and now the only thing I can do is get some revenge. And Spirit goes, that's not the only interpretation you could have right now. I mean, do you like the way that perception has made you feel? Revenge, malice, anger, they're your enemy, and they stole your peace, and now you got to get revenge. Well, how does that feel? Well, honestly, Spirit, that feels like shit. It feels horrible. I feel like I want to throw up. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. It feels horrible. Great. Would you like another interpretation? Would you like to learn a new interpretation, a different interpretation of this situation that will not only relieve you of the pain, the suffering that you're experiencing right now, but will teach you the truth for everyone? Okay, yeah. Okay, great. Then Spirit goes, great. Here's the truth of the matter. You've been given everything. No, they took my peace. They plundered my peace. They stole my peace. I'll never be able to have peace again. I'll never be able to experience love again. I'll never be able to trust again. And that's they stole love from me, and now I don't have love. I had some love, but they took it. And then Spirit's like, there is another interpretation, and that is that you've been given everything. You still have everything. You've been given everything. You still have everything. It's not true that you lost something. It's not true that something was stolen from you. It's not true that your peace has been plundered from you. It's not true. You still have everything. God has given you everything. You have been given everything. You still have all the love, all the power, all the peace, all the union. You still have everything that's real. Now, if you refuse to recognize that you've been given everything, then you're not really entitled to your bitterness. You're not really entitled to your self-perception, which sees you as in a place of merciless pursuit, where you're badgered ceaselessly and pushed about without a thought or care for you or for your future. Right. If you are not interpreting correctly that you've been given everything by love, then you're not really entitled to your bitterness and your vengeance and your anger and your perception of yourself as a victim who's being mercilessly pursued and ceaselessly badgered and pushed about without a thought or care for you. You're not really entitled to that perception, when in truth, you're just choosing not to see that you've been given everything by love. You've been given everything by love. Now, you can either choose to see yourself as a victim who is entitled to their bitterness. You can choose to see yourself as being mercilessly pursued and ceaselessly badgered and pushed about without a care. You can see yourself as a victim if you want. But that's not the truth. You can choose to see yourself like that all you want, but it's not the truth, and you're not entitled to that, when in truth, you've been given everything. Beautiful. Now, in place of all of that angry victim perception of yourself, if you wanted to perceive what's really going on, then you would only have gratitude. You can either see yourself as a helpless victim, or you could see with gratitude that you have been given everything by God. Those are your two options. And then gratitude becomes the single thought you substitute for these insane perceptions of being the helpless, angry victim who's being mercilessly pursued and ceaselessly badgered. You can either do gratitude or victim. Gratitude or victim consciousness. Those are your two choices. Now, God has cared for you and called you God's child. And can there be more than this? Okay. That's the truth of the matter. You can either see yourself as the ceaselessly badgered, angry victim who's being mercilessly pursued, or you can see that you have been given everything by God, and that God has called you child and cares for you. Those are your two options here. Now, you can either be an angry victim, or you can be grateful for what love and God has given to you. Those are your two options. Let's see, which one is going to be the one that's going to give you the most peace and joy and abundance? I wonder which one. Beautiful. Now that brings us to paragraph 10. All right. So paragraph 10. How are we doing on time? Oh, wow. It's 8:25 right now. Okay. I'm just going to finish up paragraph 10, and that'll be it for the section. All right. So if you need to leave the broadcast, you're totally innocent. I'm going to finish this one paragraph, and then we're going to do the announcements and integration meditation. Paragraph 10. So, our gratitude will pave the way to God. What does that mean? That means our gratitude for what God has given us and everyone is going to shorten our learning time by more than we can ever dream of. Wow. Would you like to shorten your learning time by more than you can ever dream of? Your gratitude to love, your gratitude to God for what God has given to everybody equally and alike will shorten your learning time by more than you can ever dream of. And that's because gratitude goes hand in hand with love, which means where one is, the other must be found. Gratitude and love go together. There's no love without gratitude, and there's no gratitude without love. They go together. So if you're not feeling grateful to God for what God gave to everyone, including you, you're not going to be experiencing real love, and you sure as heck aren't going to be giving it. And you sure as heck aren't going to be receiving or perceiving that you have love if you're not experiencing gratitude to God. It says that because gratitude is an aspect of love. Gratitude is an aspect of love, which is the source of all creation. Wow, what's the source of all creation? Love, which gratitude is a part of. Here's the truth. God gives thanks to you, God's creation, for being what you are. What are you? You're God's own completion and the source of love along with God. That's the truth about you. Is that the way you were thinking about yourself today? Is that the way you were thinking about yourself before this broadcast today? That God himself gives thanks to me as God's own completion, me, the source of love, along with God? That's the truth about you. And your gratitude to God is one with God's gratitude to you. Because love can walk no road except the way of gratitude. And gratitude is the way we go who walk the way to God. Wow, that's amazing. So this is saying here that that God is as grateful to us as we can be to God. So it's not just us being like, thank you, God, for giving everybody the same equally forever, but God himself, who is love, because remember, love and gratitude are one, so God, who is love, is also grateful to us who complete God. So imagine experiencing God's gratitude to you. You know, the kind of gratitude that you may feel to your creation, your child, your puppy, your whatever your creation is. You feel gratitude to your creation, whatever that is, that which you love. You feel grateful to it for completing you, knowing that without them you'd be incomplete. That's how God feels about us. And so if you want to know about your Creator's feelings for you, then gratitude is the way. If you want to find your way back to source love and God and reality, gratitude is the way. If you want to experience real love in your life, in your world, gratitude is the way. Gratitude is the way. And what is gratitude? Gratitude is correct perception. Gratitude is just the awareness that our loving source has given everything to all of its creations, all the time, no exception, no conditions, forever. So gratitude is correct perception. Now, you can either have correct perception and be grateful, which produces more, or you can have false perception, which is comparison, which is a lesson in lack. So those are your two choices. You can experience the love of God, which is abundance, which God gives it to everyone, or you can experience lack. You can experience lack or gratitude, and it's your choice, and your choice is free. But thank God we are being reminded that we have a choice, and that our choice is free, and nothing can take from us our choice about what we want. And in this holy instant, I am remembering that what I want is to walk the way of gratitude. That gratitude is a walk. Gratitude is a path. Gratitude is a way. We've heard it said before from our teacher, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Well, that's what love and truth and gratitude is. Gratitude is a way. Gratitude acknowledges the truth. And gratitude produces awareness of life, life eternal. So, next time you are experiencing a perception of lack because you're doing a comparison thing or a judgment thing, remember that what you really want is to choose to perceive gratitude, to give gratitude to Source for this, the fact that Source has given all to everyone equally in life forever. That will transform and switch your perception of lack into an experience of gratitude. So, let's try to remember that. All right, so you guys practice that this week and let me know how that goes, and I will try to practice that this week and I'll let you know how it goes. All right? Beautiful. So, we're going to stop here. We have finished this workbook lesson. We were in workbook lesson 195, Love is the Way I Walk in Gratitude, just in case you're just tuning in. All right. Beautiful. Now I'm going to do announcements, and then I'm going to do a 3 to 5 minute integration meditation where we're going to take these ideas and we're going to use them. So, announcements are this. Announcements are, I do 2 live streams a week. Mondays, like today, where we do random number generator, we call Miracle Roulette, where we ask Spirit to decide for us what we do. And then we go to the random number generator to see what Spirit has chosen for us in all of the Course in Miracles book. And also I do a class on Wednesdays where I do A Course in Miracles, the complete and annotated edition, which is the latest edition of A Course in Miracles. The 45,000 words that were left out of the scribe, Helen Schuckman, in the first 2 editions is in this edition. A lot of beautiful, powerful stuff that was left out. So that's why I'm teaching that book from the beginning and just continuing on. And now we're in chapter 6 in that. And then Greg does a beautiful Course in Miracles Bible synthesis every Tuesday, live on Facebook from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then Greg and I do a healing relationships series on Sundays, approximately around 7 p.m., usually around 7 to 9, something like that, where we are talking about how to heal relationships, how A Course in Miracles talks about how to have a healed and holy relationship in place of the one that you have invented that is full of pain. So we do that on Sundays, starting from 7 to 8:30 p.m. approximately, and that's also Mountain Time as well. So lots of classes. All of these classes I've mentioned so far are live Facebook live streams, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Eventually, I'm going for doing YouTube live on mine. So If you would like to support my Miracles ministry, then one easy and free way to do that is to go to my YouTube channel and hit like and subscribe. And that signifies your valuing of this ministry and your desire to support it. And it also signifies to YouTube that this channel and this ministry is also valued. So thank you for that. Beautiful. All right. So there, oh, and also if you would like to learn more about my holistic counseling practice, Miracle Psychotherapeutics, where I offer psychotherapeutic support, but from a Course in Miracles perspective, then you can go to my website, AnnaKujawa.com, ANNAKUJAWA.com. Find my phone number, text me, or you can leave a message for me, your phone number on Facebook Messenger, okay? And texting me is the best way to reach me. So just know that. Text. So, all right, so that was the announcements, and now we're going to do the integration meditation on this lesson. So what I want you to do is to close your eyes and take a breath. And we are going to take about 3 minutes and do and apply these ideas. So just close your eyes and breathe. And tell yourself, love is the way I walk in gratitude. Tell yourself, peace is the way I walk in gratitude. And abundance is the way I walk in gratitude. Now I want you to bring to your awareness a situation or a relationship right now where there is not abundance, where there's not peace, where love seems to be gone, where there seems to be anger or attack or hatred or lack or sickness. I want you to bring that situation or relationship to your awareness. And I want you to tell yourself, in place of this anger, in place of this rage, where I've been comparing what others have to me and what I have to them, in place of the rage and the anger that I feel right now because they have more or because they have less, in place of that, I want to give thanks to love, to Source right now. I thank you, God, that you've given me everything. And I thank you, God, that you've given them everything and them everything. We all have it all. Oh, I thank you, God. Thank you for reminding me that I have it all right now. I have all the love, all the joy, all the power, all the inspiration, all the worth. I have it all within me right now. I forgot and thought maybe those people stole it from me, or maybe those people have it, or maybe I have it, but they don't. I forgot. And I suffered. In this holy instant, God, love, Source, I thank you. I give gratitude that you've given everything to all of us. I have just as much as they have, and I have just as much as they have, and they have just as much as I have. We all have it all. All your love, all your support, all your peace. We all have all of your love and all of your power equally, and I'm so grateful for that. I really was tempted to hate them, thinking they had more. And I was really tempted to feel guilty, thinking I had more than them. And it didn't make me happy. It made me so scared, so angry. And so in this holy instant, I give thanks for only one thing, and that is that you've given us all the same in equal amounts forever. We all have it all. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And now I don't need to feel guilty about those who seem less, and now I don't need to be angry at those who seem to have more. I can experience real love, real gratitude. Love and gratitude are one. And I'm so grateful and so thankful that you've given everything equally forever to all of your creations, no exceptions. And so I don't need to compete anymore, and I don't need to compare anymore, and I don't need to feel guilty anymore. I can just be grateful and full of love that you've given everything to all your creations. Thank you. Love is the way I walk in gratitude to you, love. Thank you. Thank you for loving us all equally as one, and thank you for giving us all everything equally and as one. And breathe. Thank you, God. God has given me everything. God has given them everything. God has given us all everything. We are equal in the abundance of love forever. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. All right. I appreciate you all so much. If you're just tuning in now, you can tune in, go back to the beginning. And if you would like to share this message with the world, share it on your feed. And don't forget to go to my YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you all more than I can say. And I will see you next time I see you.